today and put him to rest, John Lewis literally can be said, as Obama said, right? He's a founder of America. He's one of the founding fathers, because the principle of one vote, one man did not become real for everyone, not just black folks, for every American. It did not become a reality until 1965, when he got his ass beat on the Edmund Pettus Bridge and forced Johnson and the Congress to sign the Voting Rights Act, right?
Right.
It did not. So the whole principle of America did not become actualized when it came to voting until 1965, right?
Right.
Right? Because, 1790, anybody coming into the country couldn't vote, right? Finally, emancipation happens. Black men get the right to vote, right? And the South goes into every fucking machination to make sure they don't get it.
Yeah.
1920, women finally get the right to vote. But it wasn't until 1965 where we said, okay, now we're going to put in protections to make sure all the bullshit that keeps everybody from getting to vote, now all the bullshit is going to be put in check. Now everybody can vote.
Yeah.
So it's an amalgam. That's an American thing. To be intelligent enough and have the facility to change, to direct it, change, have order, and be free and liberal and inventive in your ability to change, that it doesn't hamper you. That's an American aesthetic. You see that in jazz. You see that in the art form that you have, making a motherfucker laugh.
Yeah.
And at the same time, when they go home, they say, man, I had a good time. Boy, Marc, that motherfucker made me laugh. But boy, that motherfucker made me think. Let me think about this shit. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of fucked up.
You got to sneak it in.
Yeah. But you're not even sneaking it in.
I know.
See, that's the American aesthetic about what you do, Marc, is the fact that the two coexist.
Yeah.
The fact that you have the liberal nature of making a motherfucker just laugh and laugh and laugh. And what they don't even realize is in that, you are educating, you are provoking thought, you're challenging them, you're challenging yourself, and then you're like, damn. Right?
Yeah.
And that's the art. That's art.
Yeah.
The form in which we reflect on who we are, decide what our values are, and then hopefully it moves you to act on them.
Well said.
I had too much coffee this morning.
That was good. That was a good coffee run. That was good. I thought it was beautiful. It was a great riff. It was great, and it was exciting to watch for me. It was like to start at Shakespeare and get to where you got. That was something, man.
Oh, thank you. I forgot it's Shakespeare. Boy, that coffee's good. Hold on.
What is this work you're doing with this radio station down there?
WBOK 1230 AM has been around for 70 years. And when it came up for sale, three other of my partners said, man, we can't let this station just go. The only African-American owned station in the state of Louisiana. Talk radio, black talk radio. And imagine where New Orleans was 70 years ago. Right?
Yeah.
There's a fish fry at Peter Claver Church.
Yeah.
And by the way, Martin Luther King is going to be here Sunday.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And with Reverend Alexander, we're going to be marching on City Hall, right? Jerome Smith just got back off of his freedom ride.
Right.
Yeah. He got his ass beat in Anderson, Alabama. But there's some writer from Paris, James Baldwin, invited him up to New York to meet with the Attorney General.
Yeah.
Robert Kennedy. And he told Robert Kennedy off. Ain't that some shit?
Right.
This is talk radio. It's a legacy station. And when it came up for sale, we just couldn't let it go, And it was important enough and small enough, 1,000-watt AM station. It was four of us buying a decent size house.
Yeah.
And so, that's what my parents' generation gave us. That's the Moses generation that gave us the blueprint to move forward, handed us a baton. We're the Joshua generation. And so we felt as though it's necessary to buy that station to make sure it continues being the voice of the community.
So you didn't change the programming or anything. You just made sure it survives.
Make sure it survived. We changed the program because we're trying to, upgrade it and broaden it and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've had folks on. I've had David Allen Greer on. I've had Vanessa Williams. and Sherilyn Eiffel came on.
Oh, so you're hosting a show on there now?
Yeah, I host a show like once a month.
Oh, okay.
On Fridays. The last Friday of the month. I'm actually on right now. And it's funny. It's like, oh, that's nice. That's great. But all politics are local, man. They're like, oh, yeah, Wendell Pierce he had a conversation with Vanessa Williams. That's great. Did you know Councilman Williams actually didn't do his taxes? I'm like, yeah. Did you hear the show with Vanessa Williams? Oh, yeah, she's great. She's a wonderful woman. She can sing her ass off, a great actress. But if they don't fix that press drive right now, I'm not going to vote for the mayor again. I'm like, I'm talking to Vanessa Williams.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, baby, that's nice.
Yeah, but
I went over to get tested over at University of New Orleans. They didn't have but 20 tests.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go back. And I'll tell you who to blame, the assessor,
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I've done, the local radio thing. That's what keeps it alive is terrestrial radio, is that local engagement.
Yeah.
It's great that you did that, man.
People feel like it's their station. Sure. Which is what I love about it,
So now we don't know what anyone's going to do, so you're just going to be down there.
Yeah, I'm going to be here, but I'm a digital artist at UMS. The university is at University of Michigan. It's the University Musical Society. It goes back 100 years. A presenter like Lincoln Center or the Marc Taper Forum in the Midwest. I'm a digital artist with them, which is trying to figure out how to present art in this new virtual reality that we have.
Yep.
And it looks like we're working on this, but we're going to try to do live theater.
Really?
In this post or pandemic world, or in this pandemic world. University of Michigan also has one of the great public health departments. So what we're going to do is quarantine, kind of do the bubble, like the NBA or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
2 other actors and the director. Quarantine, rehearse the play, and when we go to perform the play, anyone coming into the bubble when we get into tech rehearsal, props or anything like that, I really actually said we don't even need the props. They deliver them, and we'll do our own offstage stuff, right? And then we stream it, live stream it, but bring in an audience of like 20 or 30 and do the quick test with them. Whether it's, the same 15-minute test result or a one-day result if they decide to quarantine overnight, once you get the result. But we want to do the quick test, and we're devising that study, the case study, with the public health department of Michigan, University of Michigan. So it'll be a study. So it'll be the hybrid, which is what I think theater is going to be. After this pandemic, there's no theater that should not consider or put into its protocol setting up some cameras and filming it for a live stream to go out. I've been surviving on the National Theater collection of plays that they've been doing the National Theater Live for about a decade now. And I think it just closed off. But I've been watching those plays, Barbershop Chronicle, Coriolanus, Streetcar Named Desire with Ben Foster and Gillian Anderson, Small Island. What was another? Those were the 4.
Ben Foster did Streetcar?
Ben Foster did Streetcar a couple of years ago in London.
Wow.
With Gillian Anderson.
How was he?
He was great. He was great. And I got to see it because of that. I didn't even know that he had done it. And so that's the future. So I think that there's going to be a hybrid where all theaters, no matter how small you are, you're going to do tech rehearsal. In tech rehearsal, you need to do a camera rehearsal and then prepare to do the play and live stream it or actually record it to be seen later. People are questioning, well, then that takes away from the live experience. I said, well, not really. It actually amplifies the live experience because people will see it and then say, "Ooh, I wish I was there," or I'll get there the next time. I'm going to get there. I'll be tested so I can get in. It actually make the live experience even more of a premium, because it was only 30 people who were tested who were able to come and see it. And it's like the first run of a film. The first run of a film in the theaters is really almost just advertising for the tertiary, DVD and on-demand market and all, the ancillary market.
I like that the idea that there's a necessity to have at least the 30 people there, because that will engage the actors in the live symbiotic relationship that's supposed to take place within the space.
Absolutely.
And so it'll read that way, that the feelings of connectivity will actually be there when it goes out and streams.
Right, because it's a guidepost. That's the thing that I realized. Oh, I tell you another one that does it. American Playhouse.
Uh-huh.
All of those on PBS here. I watched the musical just the other day. She Loves Me, and the audience is like a guide track.
Yeah, right.
But anybody who's looking at it can see and then also for the actors, that's the other partner in the scene.
Yeah.
Anybody in the theater will tell you that you rehearse the play. But once you bring it to an audience, they're the additional scene partner, and they kind of let you know where the scene is going, and you play off of them in the live performance also. And I think that's important. And so that's something that's unique. And I don't think it'll be lost in the streaming. It's actually going to be valued even more.
That's great, man. It sounds like a great project, and certainly prescient and looking forward.
Trying to figure it out, man.
Yeah, it's what we're in. You got to keep innovating, keep the 2 tracks, man.
That's it, man. See? Freedom within form, man.
That's right. Hey, it's great talking to you, Wendell. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you. I hope I made some sense today,
Loved
man.
it. It's great.
I think you're a brilliant cat, man. I love your work, and I love what you do. Be careful out there.
You too. Take it easy.
You too.
What a great guy, right? What a great talk. We talked Zeppelin. Come on, we talked Zeppelin. Wendell Pierce, again, I just want to mention it, is nominated for an Olivier Award as Best Actor for Death of a Salesman. And it was a real pleasure talking to him. Now, I will play some guitar like I've played before. Boomer lives. Fonda, Monkey.